I've recently spent a lot of time in North Carolina doing events and working with wonderful patriots that teach our Institute on the Constitution courses of instruction. So when I saw the headline, Dangerous Shark Attacks on the North Carolina Coast, I had to read it. 2 teenagers were seriously injured in separate shark attacks off the North Carolina coast, with one girl losing part of her arm and possibly her leg. These attacks were an absolute horrific display of animalistic barbarity, cruelty, and devastation. My prayers go out to these 2 individuals and their families. I can't even imagine the trauma that they're experiencing. This week I'm speaking at a youth camp in Indiana, and this story has gotten me thinking about another horrific act of barbarity and devastation happening in my own country. It claims the life of over 4,000 humans a day: abortion. It is the same practice that has been perpetuated down through history. It's called child sacrifice. The physical aspects have changed due to advances in medical procedures used to take an individual's life. The means have diversified and multiplied, but the motivation is the same as it always has been: a mixture of idolatry, ignorance, and a convenience-based, self-centered opinion of one's own life. I say self-centered because, as Ronald Reagan once stated, I've noticed that everybody that is for abortion has already been born. I say idolatrous because child sacrifice has been commonplace for many non-Christian pagan religions that would offer their children to their false god, which incidentally doesn't exist. Now in America, to quote my friend and fellow advocate Joel McDermott, we have replaced our sacrifice to a false god who doesn't exist to sacrifice to a false god that does exist: man himself. Lastly, I say ignorance because many people murder their own children due to ignorance or lack of knowledge. I know it is hard to believe, but after speaking to thousands of youth across this nation, I know for a fact that they have no idea what an abortion actually is. They are instructed in their schools and by the murder-marketing hucksters like Planned Parenthood that it is simply a form of birth control. I'm a Christian, a constitutionalist, and an American. Therefore, I teach, believe, and practice that what the hypocritical so-called pro-choice movement calls abortion is in fact murder, and therefore illegal. The Declaration of Independence, the organic law of the United States, makes no assertion that we are born equal. It says we are created equal in the mother's womb. And since the 5th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, the law of the land, says no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, then to take the life of a created human is illegal. And the results of this action are devastating. The child is ripped apart and mutilated. The mother is emotionally traumatized and risks sustaining health issues for life. And the country is polluted with innocent blood for which the author of life will not pardon without recompense. Today, as I instructed young people in the biblical American view of law and government, I'm solemnly reminded of the biblical warning from the Hebrew prophet Hosea. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. Let's reverse this curse. Please join us in reaching this generation with the Christian, biblical, American view.